Welcome in for another edition of Kevin and Dave's Evals. Today we're going to look at Antonio Alfano. And at the time we're recording this, he just gotten a boost he got his fifth star, and he's moved up 37 spots in the top 247 rankings. He's made one of the highest jumps of any player in the country so far this year. And it's well deserved. When you start to watch his film and you start to, see what he can do, not only as a defensive lineman, but he plays offensive line as well. And he's pretty dominant. He could probably be at least a 4-star offensive lineman if we're being honest. So he's very versatile. He's an Alabama commit, as probably most of you know. And so we'll go ahead and we'll watch his film. And then, like I said, as you know, we're gonna eval while we go. There's the stats through 8.5 games. That's a pretty impressive stat sheet. 46 pancakes on offense. That's to go along with 76 tackles and 10 sacks and 28 tackles for a loss. That's pretty impressive for any level. I know he plays ball up there in New Jersey, and people want to talk about that, but he's a good ball player no matter how you look at it. So here he is. He's a stand-up.
Just comes off the edge and just
that's there. His first step off, fights the hands off, gets the pressure. I mean, that's pretty good. Definitely coming off the ball, fighting hands, moving, makes the inside move, gets the sack. I mean, there he is. He's moved inside, picks up the fumble, and proceeds to
the house for 6.
I mean, that's a touchdown. That's a defensive lineman scoring.
Look how fast he's moving on that one. You just could see his speed.
There you go. There's a good one. So I would imagine he gets a lot of this. Offensive lineman. If at the high school level, if you're getting overmatched all game, just cut the kid. He sheds the cut and still gets the sack. There he is again, shedding a cut, chasing down. I mean, that's good speed.
That's just not fair, though. I mean, look what he's doing to these quarterbacks, and here he just makes the guy look silly.
There's been a lot of you see a lot of him stand up in these films. I think he'll be more of a traditional hand in the dirt guy, because he's going to put on weight. He's already put on weight from last year to this year, from junior to senior year, and he looks a ton better from last year to this year, and that's again why you've seen him jump to 5 stars and jump to the number 8 player in the country on the top 247. Shed blocks, makes a tackle on the running back. I mean, you're talking this kid is. I mean, he's dominant.
I mean, and they're trying to block him, double teaming him. They can't stop him. I mean, I know the competition level isn't good. I've seen his games in person. The team that they play against, they're some of the best That's just nasty. I mean,
yeah. I mean, he's definitely shown versatility. You got the stand up, and then he comes inside on certain plays. I mean, they're not they can't even get a hand on him.
No.
He's making that inside move so quick and the rip. Now you don't necessarily. If he has outside responsibility, then
they're going to teach him how to be more of a two-gap kind of D lineman, where he'll just use his hands to press out and have responsibilities for either side of him, either gap. But here he's just straight going after the guy, and there's no.
And I was always told by a coach that if you have outside responsibility and you go inside, then you better make the play. And I mean, he's making plays, so I'm not real concerned about the fact that he's going inside. There he's moved inside. He's moved inside, hand in the ground, and just the relentlessness. Look at the pursuit. I mean, he was on the other side. He was on the other side of the field and chased that down, forced the fumble, and then gets his team the ball back. I mean,
and that's not a 220-pound linebacker going sideline to sideline. That's a 280-pound man going sideline to sideline. That's impressive.
So I'm really impressed with his polishedness of his with his moves. Usually you don't like usually high school kids, and I've said it before on our show, high school kids don't necessarily have great hand fighting skills, and they usually have one move that their coach has taught them because that's the only move that coach knows how to teach or is good at teaching, and they teach one move and that's it. But obviously he's shown a slap and rip, he's shown a push pull, and he's shown a swim. I mean, the only thing we're missing, and probably coming somewhere in here, is a spin move. But I mean, he's got a full bat. He's got
so strong with his hands, though. Once he gets his hands on somebody, they're moving backwards. No one's moving this kid around, especially at the high school level.
I mean, there you go, getting his hands. If you can't get to the quarterback, get yourself in the throwing lane. I mean, the speed around. I mean, was that a bubble screen? That he affects it's either a bubble screen or a tunnel screen. Yeah, he affects a tunnel screen coming off the edge. I mean, usually that kid's they try to cut him? No, they just try to block him. But still, he affects a tunnel screen. That's a quick hitter. I mean, he's already in the backfield by the time a quarterback – there he tackles the offensive lineman into the running back. He takes on the kick out and then tackles the offensive lineman into the running back. Again, affects a quick throw. He's in the backfield before. Here we go on offense. I mean, he's not – golly.
He just picks up that poor kid and throws him down like he's nothing. Blocking
his ability to get through and block that kick. I mean, these teams don't know what to do with him. They're just trying to survive. There you see the pursuit again. He misses the first time. He gets back up, runs the quarterback down. I mean, you got a DN chasing down a quarterback. Fights inside. Probably not the best way to go on that one. He goes inside, but yet he still ends up making the play. So I'm okay with the fact that he went inside. He's just that good against these kids where he's able to go inside on a play like that and still make the play. He won't be able to do that at the next level, but it's going to be interesting to see. I want to see him at the All-American Bowl, and I hope there he goes forcing another bad throw. I want to see him at the All-American Bowl against kids of his caliber. I'll be interested to see that. I think he'll perform very well again. Jet sweep, runs down a jet sweep. So I think that he'll solidify that fifth star at the All-American week, and it'll be the first good look at him against top competition like that. That's been one of the knocks people have said in the recruiting industry is he plays in New Jersey. He plays no competition. But again, when you have these kids that quote unquote don't play competition, you expect them to dominate games. And obviously from these highlights, you're seeing a lot of the same games. He's dominating games. If you have a guy that's a 4 or 5 stars and he's playing low competition, you want dominance. And I think Alfano does a very good job of dominating games. He has a plethora of moves. He has the motor that not a lot of high school kids have. He's running down plays. Even when he's out of position, he's running down plays. I think he's kind of comparable right now to maybe a mix between the outside guys and the true inside guys right now at Alabama. I think if you take someone like an Anthony Jennings and you mix them with a Quinnen Williams or a Raekwon Davis, I think that's kind of what he is right now. I think he moves more into a more of a Quentin Williams type role moving forward with Alabama. He's going to get in the weight room. He's going to get bigger. He's going to get stronger. He's going to get faster. And that's just – I think he's got a very high ceiling when it comes to that. And then again, there were obviously – well, not obviously, but there were some off-the-field issues from earlier, but those have kind of gone by the wayside. Obviously, he got his fifth star. He was bumped up 37 spots. The kid's a player. Dave, what are your final thoughts on Alfano, and where do you think he ends up at Alabama? Do you think they keep him outside as kind of a stand-up jack linebacker type? Because I think he said when he was on our show that he kind of wanted to play like that jack linebacker, the Anthony Jennings, Christian Miller type position, or do you see him more moving inside, playing a more Raekwon Davis, LeBron Ray, Quentin Williams type position?
Honestly, first off, I got to say, hats off to him. Well deserved on that fifth star. I know he's been gunning for that fifth star for a while now. I know he showed up to the opening, the regional opening in New Jersey this spring, and he had that mindset of, I'm going to prove to everyone I'm as good as my ranking. And at the time, he was only a 4-star, and he just dominated that camp. And he went up against some good offensive linemen there. I believe the guy he beat in the final 5, which is the top 5 D-line versus the top 5 O-line, he went against Caden Wallace, the top 100 kid who's committed to Penn State, and he just owned him 3 straight reps. Like, Caden Wallace had no chance against him. So, well deserving of this fifth star. I know he's going to go to the Army week with that same mentality of like, hey, I'm a kid from Jersey. Everyone's been knocking me about competition, about all-field stuff, and he's going to put to bed any concerns, and he's going to prove that he's deserving of that 5-star ranking. As far as like where Bama sees him, like you said, he's got that mix where he could be like versatile and play outside, play inside. He definitely likes coming off the edge. He wants to be a pass rusher. He wants to get to the quarterback. So I think starting off, because he's 280 pounds, he's going to be a 5-tech type. He'll be on the edge on running downs, and then they have the ability to move him inside as he gets bigger, and then come passing downs. He'll be able to rush the passer from a defensive tackle spot, and that quickness off the ball is going to be extremely effective at that spot. You could see how Quentin Williams this year coming through the middle. It's tough to stop. So, yeah, I think he's going to have a really successful career at Alabama, and I think he's going to be able to see the field early in his playing career.
Most definitely. I think he has one of the chances to be a early guy. I think he's going to get early playing time, like you said. There's not a lot of guys in the class that I feel that way about, but he is one of them. I think he gets on the field early.
Yeah,
you'll see
bet to say that.
You'll see a lot of him. I think he probably has the chance to be this year's kind of Patrick Surtain type player. He's going to get a lot of burn as a freshman, I think, because obviously Alabama might be replacing a lot on the defensive line. So that's our eval on Antonio Alfano. Once again, if you liked the video, click the subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. That way you get notified when we post content. And then obviously follow us on all the social media platforms. Instagram at CABC Pod, Facebook at Crimson and Blue Chips, and Twitter at CABC Pod. My Twitter handle is producer_Kev. Bama Fan Dave's is Bama Fan Dave 2. So give me and him a follow, and give the pod a follow as well. Thank you guys. God bless.